It's about 6:30, 6:40. I'm about to leave camp. It's so cold this morning. Everything's frozen. So anyway, I'm about to hit the trail. Got to make some good miles today. Bye. I was packed in on the trail 6:30, 6:40ish. And I just did a climb. It's a little pass. It's funny because now that we're in the Sierras, you know, the lower Sierras, we're just getting out of them. We're almost out of them. We don't have these like giant 13,000, 12,000, 11,000 foot passes, but you have a lot more passes, and they're just smaller. Like this one's probably about 8,600. There's another one coming up. It's about 9,000. Another one after that. It's so funny. So yeah, they're not, 11, 12,000, but they're climbs, and you're like today there may be 3 climbs. So it's funny. It's just like the end of the desert when you got to Tehachapi and Walker Pass. By the time you got done with those water carries, food carries, heat, and climbs, you're like, I am so over the desert. And it's true. Everybody's like, yeah, I'm so ready for the Sierras. And then you hit the Sierras and you're like, oh my gosh, there's water everywhere. There's just these unimaginable beauty in these crests and these peaks, mountain peaks, and the vastness of it and the isolation. And so you do a pass a day, the big passes, and then pretty soon you're like, okay, I've done a lot of passes, like that's 9, I'm getting tired. And then you start getting in the Tuolumne Meadows area toward that, and right before that, and they start getting smaller and smaller, but then they get more frequent. So similar things are happening with the Sierras. Is like everybody's like, okay, I'm ready for give me some like neutral ground. So and then supposedly NorCal and Oregon, you start making bigger miles per day, and everybody's looking forward to that, and I'm sure that'll hit a burnout stage as well. So it's funny how it happens. Anyway, you can't really see too much this way, but I just came up from over there. You can see the other side. There's a big canyon down there, a river at the bottom of that. That's where I camped. Hiked up that today, and then I'm assuming this is the top because I looked at the Guthooks map and that's what it showed. And we'll see if we get any kind of beautiful scenery coming out of there. By the way, it was freezing this morning. My sleeping bag was crusted with ice. My backpack was iced over, and so I hiked with my hiking shirt, the mosquito shirt, and my puffy. And I remember a lot of people were like, don't hike in your puffy. It's like, no, when it's cold out and you're gonna shiver to death, you do whatever you do to stay warm. And so now the sun is out, although it's a lot of shadow still because it's low, and it's blue sky. There's no wind, if anything, a gentle breeze every now and then. And so then I will have plenty of time to dry my puffy out if there's any sweat in it. So it will be just fine. But I have been comfortable and warm. As a matter of fact, a little bit warm now. So I got to take it off. So, and I wore gloves and put on my wind pants to give me that extra warmth instead of just the shorts. And worked out fabulously. And it's funny, climbing in the morning, like this morning anyway, you just motor right on up. You got a lot of energy, the muscles are tight, and it was a good climb and it felt great. Knocked it right out. So here's what's over here. There's a lot of trees in the way right now, so you don't get great canyon wall views. Yep. Well, there she goes. Now it's just going to be a bunch of downs for quite a while, and then I'll go back up and down and back up and down. All right, yesterday, I hope you can hear me okay. Yesterday when we were in camp late, Sriracha came into camp soaking wet because we were right next to a river, and he was doing a river crossing and he fell in. And even though the water wasn't that deep, it gets powerful, it gets strong, it gets swift. And he got pressed up against a rock, and he said it took all of his effort to be able to push off of it in order to stand up. And once he did, you know, it's up around thigh level or whatever. So not necessarily that deep, but it's strong. And the other thing is, you know, there are people who have fallen off logs, slipped and fractured legs doing these river crossings. And we were talking about yesterday about how easy it is. We've done so many river crossings that you kind of get cocky and you start bouncing over them. But some of them are pretty damn sketch. You're high up on a log, you know, you're 6 feet above the water, 3 feet above the water. It's not the water, it's the rocks and the boulders that you would fall into, or getting pinned against something or getting snagged on something. Yesterday, 2 people thought they were doing a log jam crossing and they stepped on a big pile of bark. Well, that bark was floating, it looked solid, and both of them at different times on the trail went in almost waist deep or chest deep. Really, that's scary as hell, because, you know, if you get caught under or snagged or something like that with your backpack on and all that, it's not a good situation. So it's just a reminder to myself that really take my time, because I've been starting to skip over these things, and I've always done good at river crossing. It's not a big issue of going across rocks and logs, but it's something to really take your time about and not get cocky about. Now that said, I'm coming down this other side of the mountain after that pass, and you see this. This is a little river creek coming down here, and on the far side, that's the trail. So this is what we get to cross, and it's not that sketch. It's kind of a pain. Might get the feet wet. You just don't want to slip, but look at the trail over there. It's just a little creek. Anyway, I thought you'd enjoy seeing that. So it turns out that the safest way across this was back up a little bit on some big boulders, nice and close by. And this middle ground right here is like an island. So there's that coming down. It goes down straight. It comes across the trail and goes straight. And I'm on this little island, but the river or creek splits down here as well. So here's the, remember I showed you the trail over there? Well, this is the trail continuing. So I'm not sure what happens after that, but we'll get across that and see where the trail goes next. This is hilarious. There's a third stream coming down. It's split all over. I'll show you where it's from. Up, I don't know if you can see this, but a bunch of water coming down from there, just flooding down through this ravine shape. And then that's where I start over there. The trail is just a big water creek. And then I get to here, and down over there is another water creek. It looks like it's getting less over there, unless it goes down the mud path. That's when it gets a bummer. It gets all squishy mud, slippery. And this is another reason, by the way, the miles per hour thing is so different up here. You may hike a certain mile per hour, but you got to come to these things and you got to figure out your way around them, and it really slows down your pace, but it makes for a fun adventure. Another thing that I wanted to share is that a lot of these rocks are green. That's because they're covered with moss, and moss is like ice. It's slippery. So we haven't had a lot of that, but if you look here, man, I mean, it's just a bunch of moss everywhere. So you got to be really careful how you step on these things, or you're going to be slipping on your bootay. Well, I come around the corner here just after passing that little creek crossing where it took over the path, and I see this all over the ground. I'm like, what? These huge chunks of bark. I mean, look at the size of this. These bark pieces are huge. Look up, and there's this big old tree trunk, just dead to the world, but feeding back to the soil, shedding its bark. And the trail is just covered in these giant chunks of bark. It's just an odd occurrence. Just ooh, look at it all. Really bizarre looking. Oh my god, more. Oh, here's the old dead tree. Oh, all the way down here. Look at this. Going down the trail. Oh, there it is in big chunks. Yep. Wait, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I might have already, but the trail angels, the trail maintenance guys, George and Bill that we talked with, talked about this paving that they do with these stones. Here's a great example of it. So here's the dirt trail coming down here, all this natural trail, and then you hit a section like this where the trail guys came in and built this like cobblestone street. And you know, they said that they're beginning to tear these out, and I'm totally in favor of it, and most of the people that I talk to are as well, because first of all, it's bad for the pack horses, and this is one example. Some are really worse. You're lucky if you don't sprain your ankle on this stuff because it's so bad. It's like you're walking in old Pompeii, you know, on some old cobblestone road. But it's bad for the pack horses, horses and mules. It's bad for people. You sprain your ankle. These ones are a little more stable than most, but you know, it's jarring. It's hard on the bones, and it's not natural. It's like that trail down there, that's natural. Right here, you know, and that soft, nice dirt. I don't know who started putting these in, but they did say that they're slowly starting to tear them out, and I'm a fan of that. They need to go because it's like you said, it's unnatural, bad for the horses, bad for the people. Aesthetically, it's not the PCT, so we'll see what happens with that, but I really enjoy this type of trail much more. Today, it's June 9th. June 9th, Wednesday. Nice. And I got up, launched at 6:30, 6:40, headed over the hill for the first climb, ran into blowdown and salt, and we immediately went straight up again. Yeah. And we're laughing because we got that same feeling at the end of the desert. I am so done with the desert. Because it's climb after climb, right?
Yeah. I'm ready for warm mornings and less climb.
And flat terrain.
Flat terrain. And then we'll get burned out on that. Yeah. And we'll want more stuff.
You know, it feels good to knock this out in the morning though and not have to worry about it later.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we got that done because now we can actually have a big day.
Big day?
Yeah.
Only what?
Nice.
18 more miles.
Nice work, you guys.
Yeah. Knocking it out.
Yeah.
Wait, let me see that again. I didn't get a camera. It's on my camera. Okay, so we just came from over here, and now we're at the top, and this is called Lake Miniature. We're making that up. It's probably not even supposed to be a lake, but it is. And we get to go out that way and down that side for how many miles?
2 maybe?
Two before we climb again?
Oh God, you're depressing me.
A slow climb.
Yeah. All right, so that's it for this morning, and we're on our way. Bye. And now, I bring to you the PCT's famous river crossing, the Three Amigos. You took your socks off, Ray. I can tell because the fish are dying. He's getting past on the right.
So, compared to Hawaii, how warm is the water? I don't want to talk about it.
Ta-da!
Oh my God. Oh, exhilarating.
Dainty little feet.
Oh, I know what I should have done. I undone my belt. Because I'm going to get some water.
Oh my God, I hate that.
But now they feel so nice and fresh.
They do. You are right.
Oh, stand up again.
Did you get that? Do we have to go back and try again?
Yeah.
Take two? Take two? There's fish in here.
Come on, Mo.
Coming.
You got this. You got this. Yeah. So how was it after crossing that epic river?
Mosquitoes know that I can't swat them. It was good, thank you.
All right, it's 4:42 on Wednesday, June 9th. And been a long day. Started early, and I'm now at the top of Dorothy Lake Pass. Dorothy Pass or Dorothy Lake Pass. There's a Dorothy Lake down here too. I've got about maybe 4 miles to go to get to a campsite. It sets up like a 15, 16, 17 mile day to get to the shuttle place for Kennedy Meadows North. I may push past that to make tomorrow an easier day. I'm just in a mode where it's cold, it feels like it's going to snow, and or rain. And I had a real trouble back there about 2 miles ago, and I was just out of juice, I was out of energy, I was thirsty, so I sat down and I was cold. So I sat down next to a log, put my Tyvek over my lap because I had shorts on, and let's see, ate some food, drank some electrolytes, and I had a bad stomach, but that's all better now. So I'm feeling so much better. Just got to the top of this, and we'll see. I might take a rest and then see if I can do another. Hey, it's starting to snow. It's really light. I don't know if you can see it. Where I came from, it's starting to snow, and then got to go through the snowfield. I'll go around it, and Dorothy Lake I think is just past that, but it is starting to snow. It's supposed to get down to like 26 or 21 degrees tonight, so I gotta get moving. Bye. So I'm about 7/10 of a mile past Dorothy Pass, and it's cold. It's real cold, and it's been snowing. But the things that I did right, I'm very pleased. I'm actually really enjoying myself, because 2 miles beforehand I ran out of energy and I got cold, really cold. So I stopped, hunkered down, ate some food, some trail mix, some electrolytes, drank some electrolytes, some beef jerky, and some peanut butter, and drank the water, like I said, the electrolytes, so that the body can really regulate temperature effectively. And then I got warm gear on, and I'm hiking very comfortably. I'm in a really good place, which is great. The frustration though is that these trails are all boggy or muddy and technical terrain, and there's a lot of snow and stuff like that, which is no big deal. It's cold enough right now, you're not post holing too much, and you can walk around most of it, but the trail is really slow going. You know, it's like it's all water, big steps, you know, like that, a lot of rocks. So you're going over the rocks like all this right there to avoid the snow and different things. So that's the only frustration, is that the trail is slow going. Can be a little hard on the back too, but I am doing great. I'm warm, I have good energy, I'm in a good space, and I just have to plod along patiently. That's all. See ya. So the weather is starting to change favorably. It got so bad up there, it started coming down pretty good, that the snow that I put on the frog tog, because you don't get the puffy wet. And this frog tog is ridiculous how effective it is. I'm like actually a little too warm, so I'm gonna have to manage that. But this thing, why more people don't wear ponchos, I don't get it, because they are the bomb. They are such a great way to manage airflow inside, keep everything dry. but I still have little bits of snow come down, and when it lands on the puffy, it can make it wet, you know. So can't do that. It's still just rocky and wet and boggy, and it's slow going. By the way, when I was trying to put my my frog tog on, it's quite difficult to get it over the pack. And just as I was trying to do it and having struggles, a young woman, PCT thru hiker named Rocket out of Texas came by and helped me out. Got it over the pack and then got it untwisted, so that was really helpful. Good timing. Thank you, Rocket. Look at this trail. All right, folks, it's cold, so I'm gonna make this kind of quick. I gotta get bundled back up again and keep hiking, but this is a very big moment. I'm just gonna show you. 1,000 miles. Holy crap. 1,000 miles. It's snowing at 1,000 miles. An old man with a bad back. Still getting it done. Still getting it done. Okay. I don't know what time it is, 6 something. It's freezing, it's snowing, and the snow is starting to pick up. As you can see, it's starting to stick, and it's getting thicker. It's going on, creating a beautiful, beautiful trail. So my job is to simply stay warm. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. And look at this. In the middle of this freezing weather, these little bursts of sunshine. These little flowers, I don't know if you can tell what those are. Little flowers are so beautiful. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. La, 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 la. I don't remember the words, but it's fun to sing. It's getting a little thicker each step I take along. I'll have to use my tent tonight. That's for certainly. Right. Anyway. Oh, look at this. There's a bunch of people over there. Camping. Waving. I'm gonna go say hi. Okay, just to show you how quickly things change here in the Sierras. You saw these videos from all day long. Different things. Look at the environment. This is what the hike is. I just passed, I should have taken video and shown you, but I just passed Darko, Mo, Colonel Mustard, and a new person I just met, Locomotive. But it changes fast here. The good news is that I am not cold. It's supposed to get down to, I've heard different things. It's supposed to get either 26, 21, or 19 degrees tonight. And sorry, I should be using my hiking poles. And the good news is though, I was worried about my core But I bought that mosquito shirt in Tuolumne Meadows, and that extra layer combined with the frog tog and my puffy, my hiking shirt, and my Mont Bell wind pants instead of wearing shorts. I am plenty warm, especially when I climb. No hiking poles. But I can't do this for too long because I've done a really good job keeping my hands warm. And they're gonna get cold because I'm holding barehanded to be able to operate the camera. So it's a white Christmas in June. I will talk to you all later. Wind's picking up a little bit. I know this sounds strange, but it's a beautiful day for a walk. Oh my gosh, I see a bridge up there. There's a campsite in 0.4 miles. I think it's getting close to 8 p.m. So it's probably smart that I set up camp before dark in this weather. But really, I wouldn't want a bunch of this, but there's a novelty to it that's really fun. And I'm just enjoying this. River coming up, a little river, a lot of water. The Sierras, there's water everywhere. I wonder if I go over the bridge. There's a little post sign. Kennedy Canyon, Sonora Pass, Long Lakes. Yeah, that doesn't tell me which one is a PCT because there's a trail here and a trail there. So I will be right back. I think I'm supposed to go over the bridge. I have to go a little farther to see if this is the right direction. I'd like to see a PCT map. But I see feet prints